Hello learners, welcome to online class. Um, Hope all of you are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Actually, everything is on His hand in this dreadful situation of Corona. Anyway, I am Mohammad Jahangir Alam Tiku, an English teacher of Kumila Modern High School. Today, I have come to you with another grammar class. It is part 2 of transformation of simple, complex and compound. In my previous class, I have introduced you simple, complex, and compound, and their and some transformation activities of these sentences. Now, I am going to discuss how to transform a simple sentence into complex sentence in details. So, learners, come and enjoy the class. Okay, dear learners. Complex sentence. In a complex sentence, there are two clauses. Okay, subordinate clause and principal clause. Subordinate clause, principal clause. Okay, how to form a subordinate clause? At first, symbol, then subject, then non-finite to finite verb. Okay, symbol means subordinating conjunction. Principal clause. How to form a principal clause? You will see in a principal clause there is a subject and a verb. Okay, this is finite verb. Symbols are symbols means subordinating conjunctions. Symbols are as, since, when, if, though, or although. Relative pronoun who, which, what, that, whom, where, how, why. You will use these conjunctions in two ways. In a complex sentence, there are two clauses. That means there are two actions. Okay. You can transform an action into a subordinate clause. If you want to transform the first action, add as, since, when, if, though. But if you want to transform the second action, then use relative pronoun. Right? Dear participants, to form a complex sentence, you have to know some instructions. First of all, you will see here there are two sentences. He went to market, he bought a shirt, right? He went to market, he bought a shirt. Now, this is not a sentence, though I have put a full stop, but it is not a sentence. Why? Actually, there is no conjunction, but there are two finite verbs. In a sentence, there will be no two finite verbs or more than one finite verbs. In a sentence, there will be a finite verb, but this is a simple sentence. Whenever you see there are two finite verbs, that means there are two clauses and there must be a conjunction, subordinating conjunction or coordinating conjunction. So learners, look at here. You will see when and comma. When I went to market, I bought a shirt. Okay. When and when and comma. When he went to market, he bought a shirt. I have joined A and B in a complex sentence. Okay. As it is a complex sentence, how it is a complex sentence? As I have put when. I have joined when with a clause, with the first action. Or I can make complex sentence in another form. I can use the symbol with the next action. He went to market, it is the first action. He bought a shirt, it is the second action. Next action. Who? He went to market, who bought a shirt. Here he will be omitted. Okay. Or he went to market so that he could buy a shirt. So that he could buy a shirt. Okay, dear students, now look at here. To make a complex sentence, you will see basically four formats in a simple sentence. Four formats. presence of non-finite, presence of adjective with noun, presence of adverb adding with li without any sign. This is common. Okay, dear participants, now I am going to discuss presence of non-finite. Non-finite verbs are of three categories. Okay, ing form. An example is here, writing. Past participle form, the example is written. To plus verb, the example is to write. These are non-finite verbs. Remember, if you see any ing form or past participle form, there will be no auxiliary verb. If there is any auxiliary verb, then it will be finite verb. Okay. Look at here, ing form. You can see there are four formats of ing form. Normal ing form, because of plus ing form, in spite of plus ing form, or by without plus ing form. And to plus verb, there are two formats. To plus verb, simple, and to plus adjective plus to. Right? Dear participants, now I am going to show you in instructions, structures and examples. Okay. ing form, simple ing form, when or as, then subject, then omit ing to make the word into a finite verb. Going to market, I bought a shirt. This is a simple sentence. Now what will I do? I will put as or when. Yes, I put here when. Then I will take subject. The subject is I. Okay, in the simple sentence. Then going omit ing and transform it into past tense, as there is a past form verb, bought. So transform go into past form, it is went. Then the remaining, to market, I bought a shirt. Right? Another example here, because of plus ing form. Okay, because of working hard, he succeeded. Similarly, put since as a symbol, then the remainings are same. He worked hard, he succeeded. In spite of or despite plus ing, then use though. In spite of playing well, they lost. Means though they played well, they lost. Okay. By plus ing, if in affirmative form, by reading more, you will learn more. If you read more, you will learn more. If clause is in the affirmative form. Okay. Now without here, if clause will be in the negative form. Without trying well, you will not succeed. Okay. You try well. If you do not try well, you will not succeed. Right? Now, participants, look at here. You can see all the sentences and examples and structures here. Dear learners, I hope you have understood how to use ing form to make a subordinate clause. Okay. Now I am going to show you how to use a past participle form to make a subordinate clause for a complex sentence. Right? Learners, now I am going to discuss past participle form. You know, there are three forms of a verb: present form, past form, and past participle forms. Here, the past participle forms are in red color. Okay. Write, wrote, written. Written is the past participle form. Build, built, do, did, done, written, built, done. They are the past participle form. Now, participants, how to use a past participle form? Actually, there are normally two ways to use a past participle form. The past participle form is used in a perfect tense, right? How? After have, has, had. Okay. Here is an example for you. I have written a poem. Okay. Here, written is the past participle form and it has been used after have. Okay. Have is an auxiliary verb. Past participle form is also used for passive voice. What is passive voice? If there is a passive form of verb, it will be a passive voice, right? Passive form of verbs. What is passive form of verbs, right? Passive form means to be verb plus past participle form. If you see any to be verb before a past participle form, then it will be a passive form of that verb, right? Dear learners, if I omit this to be verb from the past participle form, what will you see? You can see only past participle form. You can see only past participle form. This is not a passive form now. Okay. If you omit to be verb from passive form, the remaining past participle form is non-finite verb, which can be used in a simple sentence. Okay. If you omit to be verb from passive form, the remaining past participle form is non-finite verb, which can be used in a simple sentence. Now, participants, look at here. There is no to be verb before the past participle form, and so this is a non-finite verb. Okay. Past participle. If you see past participle form as a non-finite verb in a sentence, then how you will transform it into a complex sentence, or how you will use this past participle form into a finite verb in a clause, right? Subordinate clause, to form a subordinate clause. Just add really a relative pronoun and a to be verb before the past participle form. What? Relative pronoun and to be verb. Relative pronoun means who, which, what, right? This, like this, and a to be verb. Who is, which is, like this. Here are examples. I got the note prepared by the teacher. The green color prepared is the past participle form because got. Here is another verb, got. This is the finite verb. This is the main verb. This is the principal verb as it shows the tense. I got the note prepared by the teacher. So I use prepared. Use relative pronoun and to be verb before prepared, which is okay. I got the note which is prepared by the teacher. Now number 2, I have a computer made of Japan. I have a computer which is made of Japan. Some examples are given for your practice. Okay, here are the examples for you. Dear participants, try to do this staying at home. Dear learners, you will see there are, there are another form of non-finite verb. It is to plus verb, right? Now I am going to discuss how to use to plus verb to form a subordinate clause. Okay, look at the screen, you will understand it. To plus verb. If you see to before a verb, then what will you do? Just use so that plus subject plus can or could in place of to, right? There is an example for you. I went to market to buy something, right? Here to is used before buy. Buy is a verb. Now to complex, I went to market so that I could buy something. So that I could. I is the subject, could the model auxiliaries. It is in the past form as the sentence is in the past tense. Okay. Again, another sentence, another example. He works hard to shine in life. He works hard so that he can shine in life. Okay, dear participants, now there are some examples for your practice. You will practice them at home. Okay. Dear learners, you have seen how to use to plus verb. Now I am going to discuss how to use to, adjective, to, these types of form. Look at the screen, you will understand. You will understand it easily. To plus adjective plus to. Dear learners, if you see to plus adjective plus to, then what will you do? So plus adjective plus that. Omit TWO, then use so in place of TWO, right? And then adjective will be the same. Then add a conjunction or relative pronoun. It is that, right? It is that. then subject, then cannot or could not. Generally, these sentences are in the negative form, such as simple. He is too weak to work. That means he is so weak that he cannot work, right? So, too weak, so weak. Okay, so that he cannot work. Here, who is weak? He is weak. Who cannot work? He cannot work. Okay, in the two clauses, both the two clauses, the subjects are same person. Okay, now number two, the roof is too high to touch. In this sentence, the roof is too high. This is the action done by somebody. Somebody, anybody, nobody. The roof is so high that nobody can touch. Nobody can touch. Nobody. Here I have taken nobody. In number three, the roof is too high for me to touch. Like number two, but in number three, for me has been added because who will touch? In number two, who will touch? We don't know who will touch. Who can touch? No, I don't know. We don't know who can touch. But in number three, who can touch? The subject is here for me. For me, I. Okay. The rope is so high that I cannot touch. I from for me. I from for me. Okay. Dear learners, now you can see some examples and these are for your practice, right? These are for your practice. Dear learners, you have seen how to use a non-finite verb to make a subordinate clause for a complex sentence, right? If you see there is no non-finite verb, how will you make a subordinate clause? Okay, there are some ways I am going to show you. Look at the screen and follow this. Okay, you will understand it easily. Dear participants, if there is no non-finite verb, then you will see adjective with noun. Okay, adjective with noun. If you see any adjective with noun, you can easily make a subordinate clause using adjective. Such as the fox is a dash animal, right? The fox is a dash animal. The animal is noun. And in the gap, you will see cunning. This is adjective. I am going to use this adjective to make a subordinate clause. Okay. Cunning. I am removing cunning from this place to place it in another place. Okay. After the noun. This fox is animal cunning. Okay. Now, which is, I have added which is before cunning. A to be verb and before to be verb, a relative pronoun. If you use to be verb and relative pronoun or relative pronoun and to be verb before cunning, before an adjective, then that adjective will be turned into a finite verb and this will be a subordinate clause, right? Similarly, I have a red pen. The answer is I have a pen which is red. Number two, he is an honest man. He is a man who is honest. Okay. Number three, a smiling face looks nice. A face which is smiling looks nice. Here are some examples and these are for your practice. Okay. Dear learners, now you are going to see another format. This is if you see any adverb adding with ly, then you can transform the adverb into an adjective by removing ly and use it in a to form a subordinate clause. Okay. Now look at the screen and you will understand it. The presence of adverb added with ly. Remove ly to transform that verb into an adjective. Then add it is before the adjective and a relative pronoun after the adjective. Then the sentence will be in the complex sentence. Okay. Such as, certainly he is a good boy. Certainly he is a good boy. This is a sentence, and here you can see there is an adverb adding with ly. This is certainly. Yes, you can omit ly. I have omitted ly. Now it is an adjective. Okay. Again, certainly is an adverb. If you omit ly, then it will be transformed into an adjective. Okay. So it is certain that he is a good boy. The sentence was, certainly he is a good boy. Now the sentence is, it is certain that he is a good boy. As I have added that, then it has turned into a complex sentence. Okay, dear students, now without any sign which is common, such as Hassan is a student, there is no sign in this sentence. To what will I use for a subordinate clause? So use there is or it is, then put a noun from the sentence, then relative pronoun, and then the remaining part of the sentence. Okay. Here is the example. Hassan is a student. Hassan is a student. Now what will you do? Add it is or there is before Hassan. It is. And add relative pronoun after Hassan. Hassan is the noun. It is Hassan who is a student. It is Hassan who is a student. Now students, here is another example for you. There you can see there are 3 nouns, 3 green words, 3 nouns. These are nouns. I am going to use firstly Mr. Hassan. It was Mr. Hassan. After Mr. Hassan, who? The remaining part went to London in 2010. Okay. Now I am going to use London. It was London. Then relative pronoun now. London is a place. So where Mr. Hassan went in 2010. Now I am going to 2010. It was 2010 when Mr. Hassan went to London. Okay, dear learners, here are some examples for your practice. You will practice them at home. Okay, dear learners, there are some exceptions, some exceptional sentences you will see in a simple sentence to transform into a complex sentence. Actually, these are not also exceptional. There are some rules. If you see, there is the use of possessive. Then there is a rule. Okay. If you can also see, if there is appositive, there is also you can follow a rule. Okay. Now I am going to show you these types of sentences, right? A possessive must have a noun. Okay. His honesty is known to all. His honesty is known to all. His is a possessive. Honesty is the noun. Okay. From his, there is he. This is the subject. This is the subject. That means I have changed the possessive into a subject. Honest. From honesty, this is honest. Honesty is the noun. I have changed honesty. That means I have changed the noun into an adjective. Honest. Okay. Honest. There. Here you can see the subject is he, the adjective is honest, and then put a to be verb before the adjective is. He is honest. Okay. Then relative pronoun which is known to all. His honesty is known to all. This is simple but now complex. He is honest, which is known to all. Okay. What I have done, possessive has turned into a subject, noun has turned into an adjective or verb. You can, what you like. Possessive his, so possessive is the subject, then his is the he. Noun is the honesty, and now adjective is honest, right? I hope you have understood it easily. Now another example for this. A possessive must have a noun, you know. Here the importance of newspaper is known to all. The newspaper is importance is the noun and newspaper is the possessive. If you see any noun after of, then it is the possessive. So what will I do? I shall make the possessive into subject and the noun into adjective. Possessive is the subject. So newspaper is the possessive and this is the subject. Noun is the adjective. Here noun is importance. Now the adjective is important. Okay. The answer of the sentence is newspaper important. Now put a to be verb. Newspaper is important, which is known to all. Newspaper is important, which is known to all. I hope you have understood it easily. Now, dear participants, there is an use of appositive. Look at the sentence, Mr. Alam, comma, the president of the committee, comma, will open the seminar. Who is Mr. Alam? He is the president of the committee. Who is the president of the committee? That means Mr. Alam is the president of the committee. Who is the president of the committee? Again, Mr. Alam is the president of the committee. Now, students, the president of the committee. This is the appositive of Mr. Alam. Okay. Put a relative pronoun and a to be verb in place of the first comma. In place of the first comma. In place of the first comma. Where is the first comma? After Mr. Alam. Okay. Where is the first comma? After Mr. Alam. First comma. Okay. So the sentence is Mr. Alam who is. Who relative pronoun to be verb is. Mr. Alam who is the president of the committee will open the seminar. Right? This is a complex sentence. You can see another form. Put it to be verb. Put it to be verb in place of the first comma. First comma. Okay. And a relative pronoun in place of the second comma. In place of the second comma. Like Mr. Alam is the president of the committee. who will open the seminar. To be verb is relative pronoun who. Okay. Dear participants, here are some examples for your practice. Okay. Dear learners, I hope you have enjoyed the class very nicely. Try to practice the examples what I have showed you. If you are unable to understand any of the topic, any of the items of these, please make a contact with me. I'll try my best to help you in any respect. Okay, I'll come again with another grammar class. So today, goodbye. May Allah bless you. Thank you.